So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining for another EFT tapping session. I'm really inspired by today's topics because I've been observing this experience of, for myself and also for others, just not feeling safe with the emotions that are coming up. So we're going to be tapping on unexpressed grief, as I mentioned, but also on just overall feeling safe in your bodies. So bringing up my notes here. For those of you who are new to my work with tapping and EFT, I've been doing it for about 15 years now. I've taught classes on it and found that it works best for me. What my process is when I set the intention and then just go into really what's a channel or a trance like place that holds that intention for the highest good, following that intention that's been set for the group. And I find that for me, just turning it over to source to lead and to allow those words to come through yields the most impactful results. So, quick ground rules here. One I want to point out is that, because I see this all the time, and it's something I've certainly had to tease apart, is that emotions are not mutually exclusive. So we can be filled with both grief and be carrying emotions of happiness and joy at the same time. And the reason being that we carry with us this code to unlock the lessons that we're here to learn. So we're going to be, if we're here to learn how to resolve grief, that's something that we may very well be happy even when we're dancing with our family. We also carry imprints from our ancestors. Been doing some work with some people using my bioenergetic scanner on ancestral healing, and it's really interesting to see what comes up and what we've actually inherited that we ourselves have not created in this incarnation, but we've brought into this lifetime from our ancestors. And we have varying degrees, this is where human design comes into play, and astrology, of course, of emotional wiring built into who we are. So really sharing this because I encourage you to stay out of your mind and in your heart and your body as best you can without judgment. And as you see yourself going into a space of judgment, try not to judge it. During the tapping, follow along. I'm going to just share how to do it. And during the tapping, follow along by either repeating after me, or you can, because I got some questions about this on the YouTube channel, fill in your own words with the intention that we're focused on. You can use your own words if that's what you feel guided to do. You can also sit back, close your eyes, and just listen and allow the energy to flow through, to release through you. It's entirely up to you and your angels and whatever feels right. There is, really want to emphasize this, there's no doing it wrong. As long as you have a strong intention to let go of whatever it is that's ready to be released and replacing it with love and forgiveness and acceptance, you can't mess it up. You can't. So there's no wrong words to say. It's really whatever it is that feels right to you. And then lastly, how you feel as a result of tapping. For those of you who are new to it, it's going to be very personal. Some people yawn, some people sigh. I've seen people laugh. And you may just feel this overall sense of peace, or you may even feel some tightness as stuff comes up and needs to be worked on a little bit more, perhaps another round of tapping. Or you may not notice anything, and that's okay. This is where staying out of that space of judgment is really important. Many people who have been doing tapping for a while will tell you that the results are often experienced later on when you encounter something that used to trigger you, but it doesn't trigger you anymore. So you're able to show up more consistently from that place of peace and just show up in life in that way, that state of grace. So, as I said, our theme for today is unexpressed grief and feeling safe in the body. I'm just going to check in, see if you guys have any questions, and then I'm going to show you the card and we'll move on to the tapping. All right. So our card pick for today is from Tony Carmen Salerno's Wisdom of the Golden Path. And I love this deck. We've used it in a class, but I haven't used it recently. And the card that came forward is the power card. It's this warrior dude who is playing his flute. He has his arrows behind him. And the message I get from this, I immediately thought of my husband Peter plays goalie. And when he's, they're coming at him, he's in this position where he's crouched and he's protective and he's ready. He's like, he's prepared to respond to whatever it is that comes to him. And that's what I see this guy doing. Perhaps you don't see this if you haven't taken a class with me. You may not see that it's literally that way, but that's the essence of it. So we always stay true to what's coming through in the moment with a given card. So staying strong, choosing what nourishes. So right now he's playing his flute, and he may not need his arrows, but he's ready. He's ready. He's ready to respond in any way that he can, and he's staying strong, through nourishing himself. So the other thing that I was picking up from this is that there's this face here, and it's the wisdom of the sacral chakra is what it feels like a message. It's the creative spirit. So I think it's really important right now as we're in this really intense soup of energies to stay connected to the creative spirit within, to your muses, to whatever it is that takes care of your creative sparks. Last thing here, the leaves feel like release. So that feels like very appropriate for our tapping here. So let's get to it. Just going to invite you all to settle into your bodies. And we're going to start with, just want to make sure there was nothing else here to respond to just right now. So I invite you to just close your eyes before we tap. I invite you to tune into, it could be grief, that's specifically what we're going to be tapping on, but whatever emotion feels front and center for you right now, whatever emotion that feels like it's creating instability or imbalance for you. And just become aware of that emotion. And ask your angels on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the strongest aspect of this emotion, and 1 being the least. So in other words, if you're feeling a lot of grief, it would be an 8 or 9 or a 10. If you're not feeling so much, it'd be like a 1 or a 2. So whatever emotion's coming forward for you, just receive where you are on that scale right now, without judgment. All right, so just noting that, we're going to go right into our tapping. Tapping on the outside of the hand. Even though I have all this unexpressed grief inside of me, and I don't know what to do with it. It terrifies me to even look at it or to think about it. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have all these pent-up emotions, and I feel like I'm going to explode. And that scares the shit out of me. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though it feels really scary to be me right now, and to feel safe being me. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Tapping the inside of the eyes, scared to feel safe. Scared to feel in my body. I have all of these emotions that are stirred up and beneath the surface. And that terrifies me. Because it's bubbling up in a way I can't control. And I want to control my emotions. I don't feel safe when I can't control my emotions. It's too much right now. All this grief, all this anxiety. I just want to keep it beneath the surface because that feels safer. But it's bubbling up beyond my control. And I don't know what to do other than allow it and give it all over to Source. Give it all over to my angels and have faith that I don't need to control. I will never be given more than I can handle. Because I am a divine child of God and the angels. Top of the head, and I deeply and I completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Just allow the shift. If you feel guided to tune into where you are on that scale again, go ahead. You may not be. You may not be ready to feel that number move yet. But if you are, just notice that. All right. So for those of you who are here on Zoom or live on Facebook, anything to share while I have a drink of water? You share in chat or in the comments. It's up to you. Or we'll move on to our next one. It's all good. All right. So is this theme of feeling safe resonating with you guys? You're all quiet this morning. Yes. Faith and maintaining just a sense of groundedness. Maintaining what specifically that would help for the next round? Feeling safe to express is resonating. Yeah, feeling safe, grounded. Yes. Being told too emotional, leaves flying off the trees out of the window. Yes, beautiful message. All right. Yeah. Some fear of what's coming if I let go. Yes. Yes. just making notes. All right. Let's go ahead and do our second round. And make sure, you probably are doing this, but just make sure your feet are on the floor, especially we're talking about groundedness. So how your body is positioned is a reflection of your groundedness. So make sure that your feet are flat on the floor. It's warm here today, so I'm barefoot because I love being barefoot when I can be. It makes me feel more grounded and connected to the earth. All right, tapping on the outside of the hand. Even though all of the emotions that I am feeling are making me feel ungrounded, vulnerable, and unsafe, I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though so many of the emotions that I am feeling right now that are making me feel unsafe, is because I am terrified of the future and what might be right around the corner. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though it's really hard for me to stay in my body when I'm so scared about what the future might bring. Not just for me, but for my children and those I love. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Tapping the inside of the eyes, terrified of the future. That's why my emotions are all stirred up. Because I don't know what's coming. I don't know what might happen. All of this effing uncertainty. It makes me feel unsafe and vulnerable and ungrounded, feeling unsafe, unclear about the future, scared of what's around the corner. And yet I know I can't control it. And I really don't even want to try as much as I might like to think I do sometimes. Because I am choosing to live in a state of surrender. And I have made this intention clear. I may not always feel that way, and my emotions kick up, and I ride my wave. And I have chosen this lifetime. And I have chosen to surrender. And I trust the future because I am present and here now. Grounded in love and faith. Top of the head, because I deeply and I completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Felt like quite a shift. I pray that you felt exactly what you needed to. Your left arm was fighting me the whole time. Well, the left is about the future, it's about the feminine. So maybe that's something to think about. See if that resonates for you. So I'm curious, on that scale, is where has the needle moved or not? Where has the needle moved with that emotion that you started off with? And again, I'll give you guys a moment to share that or anything else that might have come up. So left in handwriting is the past. Go with the paradigm that works best for you. When I read angel cards, it's always the left is the past. So go with what feels right to you. So a 7 to a 5, good. Went from a 7 or an 8 to 2 or 3, awesome. Anxiety from a 10 to a 5, wonderful. An 8 to a 4, good, good, good. Yay. So let's move on to our last setup here. And I do encourage you guys to continue to do the tapping on your own. Obviously, based on what you're sharing, it's effective. You can even come back and watch the video again if there's parts of it, or find a source that keeps you in between, as that helps. All right. Tapping on the outside of the hand. Even though I still have some of the emotions that I don't want. And I wish they would just go away completely. Because I feel too exposed, too vulnerable, too emotional. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though a part of me is so sick and tired of all this healing I signed up for. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I don't know what's around the corner. And I struggle to stay in the present sometimes. Maybe even a lot of times. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Tapping the inside of the eyes, struggle to stay in the present. Struggle to stay in gratitude. Gratitude that anchors the present. Gratitude that keeps me grounded. Deep gratitude. not just for the little stuff, for this moment, for this breath, for all of my emotions, for this life experience, even for all the shit I have to deal with. Struggle to stay present. And yet that's where I feel safest. Right here, right now. Breathing in source. Feeling the connection. Top of the head, because I deeply and I completely love, forgive, and accept myself. So I'm going to go straight into the affirmation here. This is just where we tap in like soothing balm onto the healing that we have just experienced together. We just tap once on the outside of the hand for this. On the outside, tapping, I am safe to be me. I am safe to be all of me. I am safe feeling. I am safe being. I am safe here. Now and for all time. I am safe. And I am loved. Top of the head. Life is good. And I deeply and I completely love, forgive, and accept myself. So I just have to share with you guys, because I'm kind of smiling that last affirmation came in the way it did, because I'm wearing a t-shirt, my Buddha t-shirt. I'm going to show you guys. My Buddha t-shirt says, life is good. And sometimes we can forget that because there's so much swirling in the world right now. So just stay in the present. Come back here if you need to. And I look forward to seeing you next week. In the meantime, be well. Have a lovely day. Love you. Blessings.